My boss created a no excuses late policy. I followed it to the letter when his car broke down. Effective immediately, there will be Zyco tolerance for tardiness, our new director announced during his first staff meeting. I don't care if to here's traffic, if your alarm didn't go off, or if your dog ate your car keys. Being on time is a choice. Mark had been hired to tighten up our hospital's laboratory department after the previous director retired. In his first week, he'd implemented a series of rigid policies, but the tardiness one was the most severe. Any employee arriving even 1 minute late would receive a formal write-up. 3 write-ups meant termination, no exceptions. As the lead technologist who'd been there for 15 years, I tried to reason with him. Some of our staff commute 45 minutes on rural roads. Weather and accidents happen, I explained. Then they should leave earlier, Mark replied dismissively. This isn't kindergarten. Adults make it to work on time. The policy hit hardest during winter. Sarah, a single mom, got a write-up when her babysitter canceled last minute. James received one when a semi-truck jackknifed on the highway. Even Dr. Chen, our pathologist, wasn't exempt when his car wouldn't start in -10 degrees Fahrenheit weather. Meanwhile, Mark made a show of arriving precisely at 7:45 a.m. every day, parking his shiny Benavinery in the reserved space closest to the entrance. See, not difficult, he'd say, tapping his watch when passing staff in the hallway. The breaking point came 3 months in. Our night shift supervisor quit without notice, and I volunteered to cover until we found a replacement. After working a 12-hour overnight shift, I stayed an extra hour to help with morning rush samples before finally heading home. As I pulled out of the parking lot at 8:30 a.m., I spotted a familiar Benembol on the shoulder of the hospital access road, hood up, hazard lights blinking. Mark was pacing beside it, phone to his ear, looking increasingly frustrated. Car trouble? I asked, rolling down my window, his face flushed with recognition. I've called roadside assistance, but they're saying 45 minutes minimum. I checked my watch. Your staff meeting starts in 15 minutes, I know, he snapped. Can you give me a jump? I considered this. Actually, my jumper cables are at home, but I could give you a ride to the building. Yes, thank you, I can't miss this meeting. As he climbed into my passenger seat, I remained parked. What are you waiting for? He asked anxiously. I am just curious, I said calmly. When you get to your meeting 10 minutes late, will you be writing yourself up since being on time is a choice and all? His face darkened. This is different. My car broke down. Ah, I nodded. So sometimes there are legitimate reasons for tardiness beyond someone's control. He stared straight ahead. Just drive, please. Actually, I said. I think this is an important teaching moment. The policy states no excuses, even for car troubles. I believe your exact words were adults make it to work on time. Are you refusing to drive me? He asked incredulously. Not at all. I am just waiting for you to acknowledge that your policy might need some flexibility for genuine emergencies. The silence lasted nearly a minute before he finally spoke. Fine, the policy could use some reasonable exceptions. I started to car. Wonderful. I'll email her about the policy update this afternoon. When I dropped him at the entrance, he was still 7 minutes late. True to his word, Mark announced a revised tardiness policy that afternoon. 3 grace incidents per quarter would be allowed without penalty, and legitimate emergencies would be evaluated case. 2 weeks later, I found a small thank you card on my desk. Inside was a gift card to a local coffee shop and a note that simply read, sometimes being right matters less than being kind, but sometimes being right is being kind, Mark. I used the gift card to buy coffee for the whole department the next morning. Even Mark got a cup delivered precisely at 7:45 a.m.